Hello to my Libras. This is Queen Moon Ra coming to you with your general reading, Libras. All right, this is going to be for the week of the 14th through the 21st. The energy that I'm picking up for you all is you have a fire sign that's baiting you into something, that's throwing you out of alignment. And this is a person who likes to take a gamble. They like to take a gamble. They like to see if you're going to fall for some kind of bait, right? So they could be doing some kind of form of astral projection or something that they're doing in some kind of dark moon magic or whatever. But they've crossed over a line, because it's going to come out in this reading, but they crossed over a line because a psychic is actually exposing them. Now, a lot of people have a lot of psychic gifts, right? A lot of people have a lot of psychic gifts, but somehow you keep being baited into something to see what you're going to pay attention to and what you're not going to pay attention to, like what you're going to, pay attention to and what you're not going to pay attention to, right? Because somebody is looking for money. Somebody is looking for some money from you, right? They're looking for money for you and for their kids, possibly. They're looking for some kind of money. And this is what a lot of people have in common. That's why you can't fall for the okie doke, right? So somebody's trying to get you all angry, frustrated, for you to pay attention to something, because you want some kind of clarity on something, right? You want some kind of clarity on something, and people are like, okay, they're talking about people behind their backs and all this other stuff, but somebody's goal is to cause you a nightmare. Let's get into your reading. Let's get right into your reading. So you all are balanced out, right? So make sure you're healthy. You have a healthy work-life balance, for real. Like, make sure you're not easily upset or confused or whatever the case may be. Something possibly around a Taurus. Something possibly around a Taurus who was baited into something. Legally, somebody showed that they're the opposition, right? So somebody's trying to find out kind of like where you are in your journey, right? So you're pretty fair-minded. So the present card here is the Justice card, right? So welcome. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Welcome back. So this week centers on fairness, balance, and truth. So you're being judged. You're being guided to act with integrity and clarity here. So some people just kind of like want to know with you, Libras, what you're paying attention to and what you're not paying attention to, but as it relates to your own family and friends, because something runs deep, like 5 generations. Something runs real deep around money and worth, right? Maybe like mother and kids, dads and kids. Remember, there's the person who plants a seed, there's one who carries the seed, right? So somebody's trying to get you to pay attention to something, right? Around money, right? And so as fair-minded as you are, that fairness, as far as you're concerned, could go towards men. It can also go towards women, right? So it's not just because if you're a man, because you have, male, just because you're taking up for men, or a woman just taking up for women. Somebody is just very fair-minded and just in general. And so Source is trying to get you to see something. This is the Temperance card, from a higher frequency. Like really trying to get you to see something from a higher frequency here. Is just that, healthy work-life balance with men and women, right? And what you're paying attention to. Because I feel like you're going to have some kind of a breakthrough. So the past influences was this, right? Recently, you've experienced giving and receiving support, and that energy of generosity still shapes your present situation. That was the past. Could be, the past influences for you. But a challenge in the past was falling for some kind of bait, right? Conflict or competition may test your patience. The challenge is to rise above chaos and maintain harmony, right? And so sometimes the only way to maintain harmony is to pull out a sword and just say, okay, I just need to cut some energies off altogether, so that, you know, even if that means me, myself, and I, you see 3 energies in the card, but also it could be friends, 3, you and 2 friends, or it could be just me, myself, and I, right? Either or, paying attention to something, like paying attention to somebody's money, you know, something runs 5 generations deep. Of baiting people into stuff to get money in the spiritual realm. So somebody definitely has telepathic gifts, right? People don't believe in telepathy until you start saying, oh, I thought this person up and here they are calling me. Or I thought this person up and here they are at my door, right? Somebody is planting seeds, right, that goes real deep spiritually, right? Trying to get people riled up, upset, this kind of thing, right? To find out kind of sort of whether somebody is an open enemy or a secret enemy to something, right? And planting familiar spirits around something. So bottom line is, in your fairness, you're not thinking, because we talk about in terms of what you have in common, that's sword energy, that's air. In your fairness, you're starting to see that a lot of people have things in common on their way to their star. You see this moon right here? You have many stars that light up the sky, right? Some people hide everything, right? Right? Spiritually, they hide everything because something runs real deep for them around the energy of money, right? They put a lot of energy into taking a gamble. That's 5th house, taking a gamble on stuff. And then when they're exposed, they go, oh, I was just playing. I was just playing. Because a secret has been exposed. Oh, I was just joking. I was just playing. Right? So, that's how, in my readings, I always say when we're starting at anything other than Ace of Wands, Pentacles, Sword, or Cups, when you're starting at 5, that's a midpoint, meaning that somebody hasn't gotten to the bottom of something. And not only that, we're starting at the solar plexus chakra. So there's significance here. Somebody wants to be significant in your journey. There's 2 energies here that want to be significant in, you know, to you. But the 3rd energy is a spirit of, okay, let's just take a gamble on something. Like just let's roll the dice and let's just see where it falls. Where it just kind of, let's just see, right? See what people pay attention to, right? See what you pay attention to. So yeah, we have the Ace of Swords here. This is a future influence. A breakthrough or moment of clarity is on its way for you. So expect truth, insight, and fresh ideas to guide your next steps. To guide your next steps. And so your conscience goal is the star, right? And this is you're aiming for hope, inspiration, renewal. And also your conscious desire is to find peace and align with your higher vision as well. So when we talk about identity, like when you're looking at your birth chart, it's your ascendant sign. That's the mask. That's like when people first meet people, right? The other one is your first house. That's first impression, right? Ace. Because you're trying to gain some kind of clarity. What's the first impression? Do people talk about people behind their backs? Or people talking about you behind your back? Like, because something is causing a nightmare. Remember, a lot of people in this year of 2025, are waking up from nightmares, right? Of just like who they could have been connected to in terms of family and falling for some kind of bait and switch, even in their own family or friendship group. It could because of what they paid attention to, some kind of lies they paid attention to in their own family, right? So a lot of people are waking up to their gifts, and a lot of people do have psychic gifts because at the end of 2024, a lot of people started waking up and started seeing, see these wolves right here? We had a full moon in Cancer in January of 2025, and it was a wolf moon, right? So people want to know which side people land on. Are they doing stuff in secret, or are they enlightening people? right? There's a difference, right? So you got some people that come out and they say, you know what, they're enlightening people because they want to enlighten everybody up under the sun, like the sun illuminates the moon. So there's really no respecter of person. It's just basically like, okay, everybody's being enlightened about the same information. Let the chips fall where they may. So something around money and like being taken care of, like somebody wants, 6 is a very nurturing number. And so somebody wants to be nurtured, but the way they're being nurtured, they want somebody to kind of sort of fall for some kind of bait that was set, and they want to be nurtured financially. They want to be nurtured financially. And we talk about 5 and 6, which is 11. And basically somebody say, get off the fence and become enlightened about something. Become enlightened about something, about what people are paying attention to. So the moon card right here is your unconscious influence. You know, beneath the surface, uncertainty or hidden fears may cloud your judgment. The spirit reminds you to trust your intuition while seeking clarity on some things, right? So something is just overwhelming. See this right here? Something is overwhelming. Like somebody is almost like drowning, you know, in something, right? Like in terms of like somebody's gifts are overwhelming. Somebody's psychic abilities are overwhelming. It's like it just put it in, it just, because this is speaks to the 12th sign in the zodiac. It's like it puts into speculation. It helps you to see something from a higher frequency. Helps you to see something from a higher frequency, right? And so the advice would be the Temperance card. You know, you're seeking balance and moderation, but you're also blending patience with trust and divine timing. Harmony will emerge. Harmony will emerge. So your card right here rules 7th house. 7th house is about relationships. And some people can be an open enemy. And some people can be a hidden enemy, right? But it's like the shadow side to something. So sometimes you may hear women say, oh, all men are dogs, because that's what they had. They had 5 dogs in their life. And they said, okay, now all men are dogs? Like, how could that be? You mean every man under the sun is a dog? Like, okay. Secretly, somebody could be crying for help. Or if a man says all women are dogs because they have 5, bad relationships. Somebody is hiding something that they're overwhelmed. They want to get some help, right? They want some kind of help. This overwhelming, right? It can't be all men, all women. So you're seeing if somebody's an open enemy or if they are a hidden enemy, right? So Source is just trying to tell you that somebody said that people were talking about people behind their backs, but when people, where's the card? When people wake up from their nightmares and they answer the call on their lives, people don't really know what to believe about them. That's anybody. That's your answer a call. 10th house. After 9 is 10. Right? 10th house is career and vocation. So people don't really know what to believe. People don't know whether to believe somebody is lying, or they're on the dark side of things or on the light side of things. Are they enlightening people, or are they... So secretly, people will... Okay, so I had to make some more room. But bottom line is that everybody has a 7th house. And once people answer the call in their life, fair is fair. Fair is fair. Even if your sun sign is Libra. Even if your sun sign is Libra. Once people really study their entire birth chart and they were like, okay, it's fair is fair. Fair is fair. Right? So somebody is baiting you into something in the spiritual realm. Like they have the gift of... you have to be on a particular frequency, right, for people to be able to bait you into some things. So let's say, for instance, you don't know what your moon sign is. And let's say you don't know how to pour into yourself. So your tide is low. Your water is low. And you go down to a lower frequency. It's easy for somebody who is already on low frequency, right? They're at a midpoint somewhere in their lives at a low frequency to tap into your energy. That's why you want to continue keeping water around you, drinking your water, foods with high water content to keep pouring into yourself, getting up, using the bathroom, and just flushing toxic energy out, because otherwise you'll keep falling for low vibrational bait, right? So if a person is operating in their north node, if they're operating in their 10th house, and they're talking about trying to warn you about something, you'll think they're being negative. They're like, no, pay attention to something. Go get some water. Go drink some water, right? Fill yourself up. Find out what your moon sign is. Pour into yourself on a regular basis to keep your healthy work-life balance, so that you'll know the difference between an open enemy and a secret enemy. You'll know the difference between the two, so that you're not having nightmares, because you get out, go work out, flush all of that stuff out your system, whatever it is. But source is trying to tell somebody, find out what your moon sign is, right? Because your identity lies in your first house, your ascendant, and your sun sign, right? But your moon sign is how you're going to pour into you on a daily basis, at least every 2.5 days. That's where it stays in the sign every 2.5 days to complete a 29.5 day cycle, so that people who are practicing dark moon magic, you won't miss it. You're not going to miss it. Because there's a lot of people who think people are, causing them nightmares and stuff like that, when they haven't really properly poured into themselves. They don't know what their moon sign is. So they keep baiting me into stuff, and I don't know how. The moment you find out your birth chart, and you pull your birth chart and find out what your moon sign is, that's how you're going to pour into yourself. That's how you're going to nurture yourself, so you can start seeing something from a higher frequency. Not everybody's open enemy, just trying to take people to court, get money, all that other mess. Everybody's not doing that. Some people, it's just easy for them to fall for the bait, because they don't know how to pour into themselves. Either they don't believe in that their moon sign is just as important as their sun sign, so they easily fall for anything. It's hard for them to just, there's no judgment though, because that's everybody. Everybody has fallen for something, but that's what I'm seeing here. So what source wants you to do, looking at your cards here, is recognize that everybody has that in common. Everybody has fallen for some kind of bait, because some people are really strong in sending telepathic messages. You don't know why you're having certain thoughts across your mind, right? So you're seeing something from a higher frequency now, hopefully, and I see community friendships. Also, celebrations surround you. Supportive connections are lifting your spirit this week, right? And then your hopes and fears is the 9 of Swords. You may feel anxiety, sleepless nights, or overthinking. Spirit encourages you to release unnecessary worries, right? Yeah. So some people easily fall for bait. So let me give somebody an example, since we're talking about fire, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So people are constantly trying to figure out if people are their enemy or not, right? It's almost like a person is paranoid until they learn how to pour into themselves, right? There's smoke, there's fire, right? So if somebody is suspicious of you, for instance, somebody say, okay, I feel like this person smiles in my face but talks about me secretly behind my back, right? They could do several things. They could put familiar spirits around you. I mean, that's a lot of money. Like, they can rent the houses where you live, or rent apartment or condo spaces where you live. That's a lot of money that somebody's putting out to gain some clarity about something. Because you're talking about solar plexus chakra. Somebody could send out emails to find out if people are their secret enemy. That could be one. Somebody could be talking about somebody to somebody who they don't even realize who they're talking to, right? That could show a secret enemy. I mean, a lot of things could show a secret enemy. Bottom line is that once you pour into yourself, like your moon, find out what your moon sign is, when you nurture yourself properly and balance out your healthy work-life balance, you'll be able to spot it right away. You'll be like, oh, okay. You'll learn what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. Some things people don't care about how some people make their money. Some people really just don't care. So they ain't falling for the bait. So source is saying somebody is trying to find out like who keeps falling for some kind of bait. That's what I'm seeing here in the cards. Somebody's trying to find out who is falling for some kind of bait. And somebody is spending money. Somebody is spending money to find out who is being baited into stuff, like who's falling for the bait. Like basically 5 and 6 is 11. So that's like, okay, getting off the fence and enlightening people. Like telling on somebody. Like, okay, oh, you know they got you fired, right? You know you can't trust so-and-so, right? So that's what somebody is saying. That's what somebody is saying. It's like, okay, you know you can't trust, you know, so-and-so. You know, they secretly, when really, again, some people are waking up to nightmares and they're putting an end to other people's nightmares, like helping people that they have nightmares in common with. You got to be on a particular frequency, and they put an end to something. So yeah, not everybody's running into the principal's office. Here we have the Python. Somebody has a Python spirit, right? So if somebody's ex wants to return, I don't know if it's your ex-friend, ex-love interest, ex-whoever, but somebody wants to return, and because they're trying to box you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So your inner child is very proud of you. Listen to your water sounds, drink your water. You know what I'm saying? Like pour into yourselves like never before, because some people are really gifted in telepathy, in telepathy, right? Some people are really, really gifted, but you have to be at a particular frequency if you're picking up low vibrational. The main thing is to stay high vibrational. Answer the call on your life and remain high vibrational. Because there's a psychic who is high vibrational. They can go to the lowest of low all the way to the highest of high, right? And they're keeping everybody informed. This is just enlightenment, right? That's somebody's north node. That's somebody's 10th house. Pisces is somebody's 10th house. That's their vocation. If they answer the call on their lives, right? But of course, you got to know the whole birth chart. People will assume people are talking about behind their backs there are some people who are trying to enlighten people and wake people up. Like wake up out of a nightmare. Wake up out of a nightmare. Go get some water. Get your rest. Pour into you so that you'll know when you step through a door or somebody steps through a door and where you are, you'll know whether they are an open enemy or a secret enemy behind your back. So you and your family. So here we have your bitter ex's lover wants you. Time to ground yourself. Time to ground yourself. Don't cast your pearls before swine. So it's all becoming clearer now. Something is all becoming clear. Somebody really envies you. Somebody really envies your gifts. You must have the gift of telepathy, but somebody really envies your gift. Like, so I feel like whoever you are, you communicate with people on a higher frequency. Like something about your gift is you have the ability to tap into people's energy, but at a higher frequency, to help people see things at a higher frequency. So even if you don't feel like they're being fair-minded, whoever you are, you're trying to help people to see something at a higher frequency so that they don't fall for some kind of a bait, if that makes sense to you, right? So they'll see things through a different lens, right? So they'll say, oh, okay, when you walked into, that's 5 and 6 is 11, when you walked into ... wherever you walked into and you enlighten people, right? Some of those five of them energies in there, 5 out of 6 of those energies are open enemies, right? They are connected to a family in some way, shape, form, or fashion. 5 out of 6 of them energies in there. And so somebody could be saying, I need you to see something from a higher frequency, right? And again, something is around money. For the most part, a lot of people really don't care about how people make their money, for real. They don't. They're too busy trying to make their own. So, but then you got some people who do. So somebody that can be in spirit, speak something into existence. Somebody has a really, really Your gifts and talents are powerful, and it's overwhelming to people. Like, people are like, I don't know why I was thinking about you, right? Because you were tapping into people's energy. So your ancestors have a message. Listen to your intuition, right? Check your request list again. Listen to your intuition. Somebody has a very lustful spirit. So somebody's in a crisis, and somebody apologizes for hurting you.